This month, ELFCO TV visits the Allen Neighborhood Center, a non-profit community development agency. The folks at the Allen Neighborhood Center have dedicated themselves to the creation of a thriving, self-sufficient 48912. They accomplish this through community-based programs that are aimed at bringing people together and providing them with the means necessary to live healthy, networked lives here in Lansing, Michigan. Recently, I had a chance to sit down with Hamill and learn more about how the Allen Neighborhood Center is involved in supplying Lansing with nutritious food alternatives through a variety of local venues.
I'm Hamill, and we are here at the Allen Neighborhood Center, and I'm most closely linked to the programs here. We have a wide variety of programs serving the east side of the city of Lansing, but I primarily am involved with the farmers market, which is one of our programs, and all of the other kind of food, health, nutrition related connects we do with in any way that we can. Allen Neighborhood Center is 13 years old. We're a private nonprofit, and from the very beginning we've always been in this location on Kalamazoo Street. We've always been here to kind of provide an integrative and comprehensive support for this part of the city, which involves health, housing, nutrition is certainly related, some commercial revitalization on this part of Michigan Avenue, and so we've been seated here for 13 years. Early on, or early 2000, we had a weekly pantry, and it became evident that people really came in and were interested in supporting that kind of a service. And so our first food program, so to speak, was what still remains today as it's called Bread Basket, and it's every Tuesday. And actually that program has evolved to where we've taken it and it's just a private venture of ours, and we have donors throughout the community who donate bread, whole grain and other breads, but a higher quality bread. And also, we're a recipient of the food bank's gleaning program, so we also receive seasonal foods when that's available. So every Tuesday, 80 to 100 families routinely come and are able to take whatever we have as far as a little food pantry. So that's always been going on, and we'll continue that. When it became evident that so many people were interested in that, around 2003, we were having conversations anyway with the neighborhood. That is our tradition, to go out and have face-to-face conversations, introducing our agency, explaining what we might be able to offer, asking what people might like to see as a new offering, and we form a lot of our programs that way. And so as a result of talks in 2003, specifically designed questions around food, we discovered two things. Not only did we have a higher than state or national average of food insecurity in this neighborhood, but we also had people telling us they were interested in projects such as, what if we created a farm market, would you like to come? Are you interested in growing your own food? And so in that year, we sat down with other partners and collaborated and built, with that input from the public, a construct of what we currently are doing now with our food program. So that's exciting. So the market came first in 2004 and has been going its 8th season right now, and has grown slowly but surely to what it is now, from 4 farmers and a hand masseuse to 28 booths now, and we won't get any bigger, but we've maxed out our size, and really it's a good functioning size for us. So here we are with that. We've got the Hunter Park Garden House down the road in collaboration with the Parks and Rec, City of Lansing, letting us use about an acre of land in that park. We've got a year-round, large 30 by 100 foot greenhouse, and that's really an educational site to teach people how to grow food and encourage them through lots of workshops and hands-on experience to take that aptitude and put it in their backyards and grow some more of their food. We're also running a little community-supported agriculture project out of that greenhouse. So those are the first two. And then now we are in progress of creating a food resource center, which will be a designated spot hopefully in the back of this building right here, that will house a commercial kitchen. It will house rentable food storage lockers available to the public to increase, their storage and consumption time for their vegetables. And also probably it'll accommodate about half of our maybe 14, 15 booths, and we'll extend our market year round. Urbandale is an independent agency. It was begun by two women who are very supportive and have been longtime partners of our food projects, Laura DeLinde and Linda Anderson. And we have acted as a fiduciary for them, but they have on their own received a substantial grant this past year, and it's allowed them to launch this project. I know I am not them, but I do know I can tell you they've worked closely with our land bank in procuring and the use of land right here east of our center on the east side, and they are really operating as the first urban farm in Lansing. They have plans to expand, but right now I think they're on a couple acres, and we're very close. They are also a full-time vendor at our farmers market. So that's really amazing, and that's very exciting to have them launch their farming here on this side of the city.
How did you get started working with Urbandale?
I started working with Urbandale last year as a volunteer when they had their first volunteer work parties. And so it was, I think, April of 2010. And I had met Laura and Linda, who were the co-founders of the project, and they had said that they were starting it, and I'd seen some flyers about the neighborhood for it. And so I started attending. They had a work party every Saturday in April to get started. And so we started the groundwork of, we started first of all by clearing out the area so that it could be grown in, which meant like pulling out shrubs and trees and cleaning it up so that a tractor could get in and cultivate the area. And then we started planting as soon as the space became available to plant in. And following that, there was an AmeriCorps position open with the land bank, and to specifically work here at Urbandale. And so I applied for that AmeriCorps position, and I was the AmeriCorps member last summer here at Urbandale Farm.
I think a really cool side effect of this would be that people in the neighborhood see you doing it, and they might think to themselves, well, hey, I could do that with my yard.
Yeah, we were just admiring right behind you. There's a beautiful garden that they started this year and last year, and she's come down and talked to us and asked us how things were going and showed us her garden. Dominique is on the irrigation rotation, and so she is learning how to operate the rain tower.
I noticed you hooking the hose up to that house there.
Oh yes. These are our neighbors, Matthew and Molly, and they have, we're for farming here on land bank property, and so they are also working with the land bank in the Urbandale neighborhood, just a couple of streets over, and have an urban farm called Slow Lane Farm, and they also sell at the farmers market. And they have generously allowed us to tap into their water here for this lot this year. And then they just pay attention to their bills, and we pay them whatever is out of the ordinary for them, so that we can water our crops down here.
That's so cool.
Yeah, yeah. In the meantime, we are one of our apprentices is writing a proposal right now and doing the research for creating a rain catchment system. And so he's going to build like a lean-to structure that's going to collect water into rain barrels that will be gravity fed, so that in the future we will be less dependent on our neighbors' tap water, and we can sustainably harvest it from rainwater.
My favorite moments about Urbandale are when we're running the farm stand right here. I mean, I love working at Allen Street Farmers Market as well, but I love it when we're here and someone comes in and they've just seen the sign, or like last week we had a young couple come in and they've just moved to the neighborhood and they had seen the sign and they're excited about, you know, here's a place where they can just walk to twice a week and buy fresh stuff that's grown right here, and they can come and volunteer if they want or not, or just come and buy. And if they live here, we give them a neighborhood discount. And so the coolest thing for me is when people get excited about that, or when people stop by and say, "This is so cool what you've done here. You know, we love it. This is so much better than a vacant lot." So that's the coolest thing for me. Yeah. And I guess another cool thing for me is that we have these 3 apprentices who are working here this summer, who are young adults, all of whom live within, I think, about 6/10 of a mile of the farm. And our hope with the apprentice program was that they would learn enough so that if they could go start places like this themselves. And right now, as we're nearing the end of the first 6-month period, they are beginning to talk about what they'd like to do and what projects they want to take on. And it's pretty cool to think that this year, and then again next year, when we'll have another 3 apprentices, that we're helping to launch kind of a new generation of urban farmers. So people who already live here, but, you know, for one reason or another hadn't gotten involved in doing growing for market, and maybe will help not only grow vegetables, but help grow farmers, urban farmers.
What is the secret to healthy broccoli? Because I've tried to grow this plant before and it gets spindly and it's tricky.
Very tricky. We've had our troubles. I find slugs to be a big problem. I don't know, I just talked to them, that's what I did.
And we did some other stuff besides talk to them.
Some worm casting, a little compost tea. Yeah, some compost initially. Just extra loving.
Yeah. We had a lot of pest problems earlier in the year, and some now. And our biggest pest problem with the broccoli was early on none other than our friends, the neighborhood groundhogs, which is why the fence.
And now the slugs are running rampant.
Yep.
But it's okay. But I saved them. Just like that.
Gourds all have really similar flower.
Yeah, they're all pretty close. And there's actually, Ben and I have a little garden down on the end of the street, and you can see there's a proper bottle gourd down there, and the flowers look nothing like these, and I don't know like what it is about that, but
valuable aspects of urban farming is the proximity to people and nature and the transparency of the operations, whereas our neighbors can see here exactly how we're growing, how much work we're putting into it, what methods we use as far as pest control and things like that. They can really see what's going on. And it makes it really easy for access to markets too. You know, folks can walk here, they can bike here, they can drive if they choose to. Whereas for some of the more rural farms, it's a day trip to go out to the farm. You know, you can't do it quite so conveniently.
It really gives you a good idea of just how urban this location is when you can hear the cars on the freeway, the jets are going over. I mean, you all are just right in the heart of things.
Yeah.
This beautiful garden.
We're also in the heart of the 100-year floodplain, which is one of the reasons why we're able to farm here in this particular location. The property is owned by the land bank, and there's restricted development on it since it is in the 100-year floodplain. They wouldn't like to put more buildings or houses or people in this area, so it makes it perfect for farming. And through the land bank's garden program, we have a low rent lease, I guess you could say, on the property, and are working with them to use it.
Where did you first connect with the idea of urban farming?
So I moved in this neighborhood last August, and we had been to the greenhouse at Hunter Park, and we had been to the market a couple times, and I noticed some flyers asking for volunteers for the farm, and then it turned out to be an actual working position, so it's pretty cool. But I'm actually like a medical assistant, and I do hair, so it's like outside of my comfort zone, but it's nice. I like it, and probably gonna stick with it. Like probably 9 out of 10 I'm gonna stick with it. So I've been trying to find a little bit more opportunities here and there.
Does this make you want to have a garden in your own yard?
Oh yeah. Like we've planted basil at home and salad, and I've actually trying to come up with some plans to get some space, because we have a pretty good sized backyard, but we also have like 3 dogs, so I don't really want to take that away from them. So I'm looking to find some space through the land bank and get it going, because my kids like it too. Well, my middle kid, the oldest, he just wants to eat. So, but yeah, my middle kid loves to help. So, pretty cool.
Have you noticed an increase in the number of farm markets in the last few years? Or people going to them?
Yeah, there are more farmers markets in the area, in the Lansing area, than there have been in the past. I'm not sure exactly on the number, but there are definitely more.
But the advantages of farmers markets that I see are they put people a lot closer to the source of their food. I mean, even if they can't go out and visit the farm, they can talk to the person who grew it. And I think to see that connection between farmers and the food that you eventually eat is a good thing. I think in our society we've lost a lot of touch with where our food comes from, and farmers markets make you a lot more aware. Another advantage of farmers markets is that they serve as not just places to go pick up your food, but many of them, like Allen Street Farmers Market or our small market here, also serve as just places where people can come and see each other. They become like neighborhood commons or community commons, so that the act of buying your food for the week is also an act of connecting with other people, and I think that's another important aspect of farmers markets is they give the small farmer, like you went out to Green Eagle Farm and you're coming here, and other small farms that sell there. It gives them an easy outlet, because for those of us who have small farms, to try to figure out how can we sell our stuff to Meyer or other places that want to deal in volume. It's really hard for small farmers to do that. So it provides an easy way for those farmers to sell with the lowest possible overhead. So economically, it's a good deal for small farmers. So those are three good reasons.
My name is Steve Grose. I'm a produce grower here at Green Eagle Farm. Green Eagle Eco Farm, I guess we could call it. Out here near Onondaga, Michigan, in the quiet countryside, in the middle of a mosquito patch, I guess.
What sort of stuff do you grow out here?
Oh, we try to grow things without any kind of a toxin or chemical applied to it, and we try to grow a little bit of just about anything we eat or can grow, or can have a little fun growing anyway, trying to grow. So we grow vegetables of all sorts, tomatoes, potatoes, onions, nothing in a large scale, but enough to go to a couple farmers markets and maybe have a little extra for the food co-op and try to have clean food for us and our family and friends. So, we have just a little bit of about anything, all kinds of greens, some unusual things like arugula, sorrel, dandelion greens, but then your standards, so like kale and Swiss chard and spinach when we can, and lettuce. Everybody wants lettuce, and so we're working on, just about a little bit of everything. Think of something I didn't mention, I probably have it: zucchini, cucumber, a little bit of watermelons, okra this year, a lot of different cherry tomatoes, garlic. Everybody likes that garlic. We grow about 6 kinds of garlic. That's one of our bigger money makers, just because we grow a lot of it, and we do a pretty good job with it. And just like I say, just a little bit of everything. That's in the vegetable category. We've also got some blueberry bushes that we mostly harvest ourselves. We've got Asian pears, we sell some. We have pears and some apple trees and many different bushes. We try to be diversified because the earth is diversified. We don't monocrop anything, and we try to farm it with a lot of hand labor and people labor rather than large machine labor and sprays. And so, we get more people involved that way, and we just stay healthier with our physical activity. Every year we're doing a little more, trying to make it more people friendly, but still keep it friendly to all the rest of the creatures that God placed here, that nature has here. Everything has its place. We seem to be pretty good about eliminating their places with our agriculture, and that's not what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to give the creatures their space, but also, make it so we can be here in a way that allows the earth to function more properly. Well, this particular farm, I'll be, in May of 2012, it'll be 25 years I've lived here. And a lot of it was hit and miss. Smaller garden, a small garden got bigger, then bigger, then bigger. And then I met Chayla. She got involved in the farm 15 years ago. Then we really took off into farmers markets and things. She's really helped out and helped make this farm function. Somehow or another, I was able to realize that the way things were going and the kind of food I was eating, and it's not what I wanted to have put into my body. And so, I get involved with it for a lot of reasons, not just for feeding my body, but for the earth, you know what I mean? We're all part of the earth, and we're wrecking the earth, and a lot of it has to do with how we grow our food or procure our food, or even like there's other things you might consider food, how you get your knowledge or your entertainment, the things you put into your space, you know. I mean, we're wrecking the earth for our things, you know, like that's our food or something, you know, we want. But, so I live a little simpler than that, you know, I don't buy a lot of things, I just get involved with food production and trying to live happily with, you know, hearing the bugs around my head, I guess, but it's all, I mean, I love it out here. I mean, it's a great place. It's quiet. It's working with nature. I take some food to the farmers markets and we make enough to get by through the winter.